Hello, this is Joy from Her Own Pony, Chapter 2. It was raining when she woke up. Or maybe that was why she woke up. She didn't know. She lifted her head, slowly, trying to get a clue as to where she had spent the night. The rain was good most from her sight, but she could dimly make out the side of the alley she was lying in. A small trickle of water ran past her head, running off to somewhere else, and she was alone. The memories of the day before swept through her head. The running, the fun, the learning, the loss, the sadness, the heartbreak. She felt she was starting to understand what the pony yesterday had been going through. One of the ones that looked like her. The one that had been drawn in the dirt. She realized what she must have been feeling, what she must have been thinking. And now she was gone too. Gone with all the rest of hers. Except for the one that got away. Why did she get to live anyway? What made her special? Why was she different from the others? She didn't look different. She acted almost the same. So was she not gone? Of all the other hers, why did she continue on with her life? She gave a heavy sigh. Then her head dropped until it touched the ground. The sun was barely visible, just a darkish brownish blob from beyond the clouds. A wind was blowing somewhere, the airy howling of it audible as it rushed past the half-shuttered houses, making a few unlatched windows barely loudly. It was depressing. The phrase popped in their head just like yesterday. Don't know reason why it appeared, it just did. As bright as day. Depressing. It was the only word that seemed to sum up her attitude at the moment. The only word that she knew that came anywhere close to describing her outlook. She wasn't having fun. She wasn't joyous, happy, laughing, jumping, hopping, skipping. She was sad. That word, bad enough. No, it wasn't. She was really sad. Another sigh, another shake of the head. Another minute passing with no heed. She may be crying. She may have been stoic in the rain. There's no way of knowing it. May have feel insignificant. Like she wasn't of real importance. There's not any speck of dust, and no pony paid attention to, referring to let it swept away. The rain continued, showing no signs of stopping. Was that what she was like? Was she just a raindrop, being washed away, being swept up and carried in a drain somewhere? Was she one of millions of identical copies? It seemed there was no way that she wasn't. There had been so many ponies that looked like her, acted like her, I thought just like her. But why? Why did somebody of her when there was ever only one of the other ponies? Why was she the one that was disposable? The one that was allowed to be thrown away carelessly? Just wasn't fair. She was crying now. She could feel the tears sweeping down her muzzle. A split second before they were washed away, there's another droplet is shifting and floating at sea. The rain redoubled as they accepted a sacrifice, beating down harder than ever. Maybe she could find someone who could tell her the answer. Someone who knew why all this was happening. Would they tell her? Would they make it disappear as well? The image of the purple unicorn, her horn glowing as she banished the pink ponies, appeared in her mind. Her terrifying memory, grief, confusion, turning into something that she imagined would be in a horror movie. Her horn was sharp, failed to point. The purple light, instead of breathing, sipping the flame. The brutality in her face, that was the same. That hadn't changed. The whole time she'd spent getting rid of her images. She hadn't hadn't hesitated to question her actions at any point. What kind of pony would do that? Not the kind of pony she would want to share time with. Not at all. She had to go away find somewhere to hide, to lie low for a while, while hoping the whole thing would blow over eventually. She knew it was an unlikely dream. She had no choice. She looked like her, fizzy tail and all. Pill as bad as she wasn't that other her, the one that was allowed to walk away unscathed. The drenched pony staggered to her hooves, trying to force herself against the force of the rain falling, and the weight of it soaked into her coat. It was almost dark. The rain was that heavy. The sun still hadn't managed to penetrate the dark ceiling above, only barely spreading any light at all. She had no idea where she was either. The back streets of Ponyville could be like a maze, a labyrinth, the biggest trap. Ordinarily, she might have been able to find a way out, if it hadn't been raining, but the confusion of her running, coupled with the torrential downpour, scrambled any chance of her making a plan to get out. It seemed that there was no other option but to walk, hope that she'd find herself in the open, and maybe, just maybe, she would get out of the hell that was Ponyville once and for all. The clapping of her hooves on the cobblestone was completely lost, drowned out by other sounds, the banging of the unlocked windows, the whooshing of the rain, the faint gurgling of the rains, as gallons of water poured through them every second. Step, step, sigh, step, 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 blink, step, step. The monotony of her task started to wear in. She could only keep walking, and walking, and walking. There was no way of knowing her position. So whenever she came to an intersection, she just picked a direction at random, set off again. The sheer size of the alley system started to get to her. She never realized just how winding and impossible it was. The designer must have been a genius or a very deranged pony. They were doing her no favours now. She wanted to get out, see a wide open plain, no other pony in sight, no threats, no chance of a unicorn trying to make it disappear to space. Relaxation, peace, no worries, nothing stressful, just silence. She froze, before painting her sodden skull an instant. Was silence the exact opposite of what she wanted? She wanted noise, movement, ponies, fun, happiness, but not silence. She thought she had enough since silence lasted a lifetime, and she definitely didn't want any more anytime soon, preferably never. But at the same time, she didn't want to see any pony. What did she want? Why was she so confused? Why did nothing make sense? She slammed the hoof against the cobble, barely containing her noise, while at the same time waiting to smack the wall. So very, very hard. Nothing was simple here. The fact were out of sight. She didn't know why they want her gone. For a moment she caught sight of her own image in the road in front of her. But it wasn't another her, not in that way. It was just a reflection, undisturbed, as it was sheltered underneath her wet form hidden from the sky. It looked angry. It looked like it wanted to attack, to rip, to tear, to vent, the frustration. It looked like it wanted to kill, to break free, like something that had suffered to the point of not suffering anymore. That wasn't it. But that wasn't what it was entirely. It was also looked sad. It looked like it wanted the terror to stop, the fear to end, the paranoia to cease. It looked sick and tired and hungry and cold, and so mistreated. It looked like a vagabond, a pony that no pony else would go near, a desperate pony that would stop at nothing. But that wasn't it either. It looked lost. Behind the face, behind a mask of pain, suffering, sadness. It looked lost. It looked like a pony that wasn't sure what to do. A pony that ran out of options, whatever they were. It looked like a pony that would just want a friend, just want a hug, someone else to lean on, they can find on, and shoulder to cry on. It looked unsure. Like the slightest change of plan would leave it questioning, wondering why something had happened the way it did. It looked like it had questions, but that no pony would answer them. I was wondering why, and how, and what, and when. And then the moment it was gone, the pearl vanished. There was another image of her that had been washed down the drain to disappear forever. Still questioning, still unsure. Wanting to know why, what I was feeling, not why. Yet had gone to the stage of why. I just wanted simple answers. She stared at the spot that Paul had been in, so hoping it would come back, just give her another pony look at. Even if it was her, it was better than nothing. For a moment she thought. She saw a shadow fly over her head, but when she looked up it was gone, as if it wasn't real. Her mind got to the stage so it was playing tricks on her too. She could almost imagine she could hear other ponies talking, chatting amberly. She knew enough to realize that would never happen. Not in this weather, not in this area. But sounds were growing louder. The rain was still there. Could possibly be. Yes, she could hear them now. She could hear the ponies as they talked, as they walked. The voices were muffled by the rain. but she could still make out the sounds themselves. She knew a pony's voice when she heard it. She had to walk toward the voice. She had made out a pony, then she'd escape. Then again, what if they didn't want to help her? What if they just wanted her gone too, just like the others? Should she talk to them? Maybe just a pig wouldn't hurt. Nervously she tiptoed closer to the sound of voices. Not that it would do much anyway, but his idea that counted. She could hear them growing closer. The ponies wanted to move. But why? Why the pony purposely wander around in the rain? There's no reason to be out. Another intersection road ahead. Maybe they'd be near there. She reached the turning and poked her head around the corner, only tentatively, so as to have the option of running. It became perfectly clear. There were 5 ponies on her. The sissy every nook and cranny of the alley. The purple one at the lead, the horn aglow, lighting up the way. It's clear they won't have any fun. Lizzie won't wet or anything. The purple one had a spout overhead, stopping the rain. She was there as well, or at least out of her. The one got away. She seemed slightly pensive. Another word appeared to her. Why, she didn't know. She could only hope. She knew they stepped out into the rain, away from the light. They'd become lost, just as lost as she was. They had to stick together, sticking strength in numbers. 60 and 1. Strength in numbers gets weakness and loneliness. Wasn't good, looking good. She immediately backed away, drawing a sharp breath. This is bad. If those boys found her, she'd be in a lot more trouble than she already was. That was about 5 times worse than the word bad. She was bad in herself, so it was. No, it wasn't the time to get silly. She had to stay focused. Figure out a way to disappear, but not in that way. She looked around her. Search for any way to run that wouldn't end up in her getting more trapped and lost than she already was. Anxiety jumped up an arch as she started making out towards her other ponies drifted around the corner and through the rain. Come on, say one pony. We got to search harder. If we only just finding it. There's no way of knowing what it could be up to. And what were they? I agree, darling, Fluttershy. Come on, pony. One of the ponies said, "You gotta search harder. If we're finding it. There's no way of knowing what they could be up to." What were they? I agree, darling, Fluttershy. If you want to find it, you gotta have to poke your head out from behind my mane eventually. Every moment we delay won't allow that thing to get further. Think what? The prime voice stopped for a second. Came back to us. Rainbow Dash! What are you doing? Get attention! A clang filled the air. So you could hear garbage scatter before being swept away. Exactly ready, the voice said. But I heard something. I think it's hiding near her. But she wasn't. I'm not giving up until I find it. Could be just around that corner for all we know. She clapped, clapping her hooves over her mouth. If I had anything from escape, it was too late. They must have been too close. Or it must have good hearing, or anything, because her voice had probably stopped. Why? Said one voice that had been in task again. Am I the only one who heard that? I don't think so, Rowdy. Heard it too. Twilight, turn that apple face and Maggie in that spell of yours. See if we can hear that thing. A static noise filled the air for a moment before stopping. A slight whistling piercing the air. Rain. She didn't know what they were talking about, but she knew it couldn't be good, and she couldn't let them find her error. So she did the first thing in her mind, the thing she knew she'd be doing for a long time, possibly the rest of her life. She ran again. She ran through the rain, ignoring the cold, the wetness that brought with it. They were insignificant. They didn't matter. She had been chased. They wanted to get rid of her. She knew that they were chasing her. The moment her hooves hit the cobble, stopped moving. They shot out an alarm. They knew she was there. They were after her. Noise and their movements chased her too, pressing her to her limits in an effort to lose the hellish pursuers. She didn't know exactly what they were chasing her, and they didn't seem like they were going to ask Lara any questions. She had no choice but keep going and hope for the best. She sprinted her hooves, being hasty scattered across the hard cobblestone surface, slippery from rain. Then she hit the wall, literally, the rain whipping across her face. She hadn't noticed a silent fork in the alley. Not on his head, she drew closer until it hit her. The report of her impact echoed around enclosed space. She slumped to the ground, not being able to move, stunned. The impact dazed her. She collapsed right into a pile of what like garbage bags. The black material of them clumped against her pink fur as she collapsed. Her hoofs were getting louder, louder. They were getting closer to her unwanted hiding spot. She knew that, but she didn't know what if they would find her or not. The quivering pony could only hope they could overlook her and move on, leaving her to whatever fate threw her away. Then hoofsteps slowed, stopped together. Seemed like the ponies knew where to have stopped. They were getting suspicious. She started trembling. She couldn't hear what they were saying. Voices were being destroyed by rain. The bags around her, and the stars spinning around her, or at least what they felt like it. It sounded like they were trying to figure something out. He sighed something. One sounded like she was about to go and search every single bit of cover in the alley anywhere. She trembled harder. Visions flashed through her head of them finding her in horrible ways. In one, blue Pegasus would fly by and grab bags, revealing her. Another pearl of magic would run through her cover and pull her slowly, saving the anguish and pain. Then another voice appeared. It was different from all the rest. It sounded panicked and shocked and more or less scared. It sounded like he was trying to get a message across to other ponies. But what? Was the voice pointing out her hiding spot? Was it revealing her? Telling others to make her go away? The thoughts flew out of her head as the sounds of 6 pairs of hoofbeats running away reached her ears. Shaking Disney's out of her head, she peeked off on the top of her highway and just caught the back end. The 6 chairs as she ran disappeared into rain. Another pony was standing there. She turned to face her, not even stopping to find her. She knew where she was all along. She was a Pegasus. That much obvious. A dark grey one at that. A blonde mane hung over damp over one shoulder, and one of her eyes pierced the rain to look at her without her wanted elsewhere. The small brown bag stopped across her flank. She did the strangest thing. She smiled at her. It was only a smile, but a smile at least. The Pegasus took another glance. Van fairly streaking over to her, hidden away in the bags. The Pegasus reached the hoof in, out around her, pulled out and opened. She struggled, but the pony put pressure around her and gripped tightly. Shh, said, don't make a sound. Don't make a fuss. We'll get out of here. Her voice wasn't clear, strangely calming. The mysterious pony led her opposite direction to where the others had gone before glancing around and going to the corner of the alley and stopping. The pink pony looked grizzly. The grey pony just smiled and reached behind her. She pulled a key out of her bag, small, very brass key. The key was wrapped into a lock, which turned the mechanism. She released the catch, was opened the door in the side of the alley. Her husband pulled her inside, quickly closing the door behind him. Instantly the sound of rain cut off entirely, filling the place with silence. It was good kind of silence. She enjoyed it. The inside of the house was small, but in a cozy way. Small armchairs were in the various corners of the different rooms. Immediately in front of her was a staircase. 2 arches lead off to the other rooms. Crackling her fireplace drifted through one. She looked around in wonderment, trying to make it all at once. The pulse of her feet in itself, but wasn't until the other pony turned her. The Pegasus smiled, an amazing smile seemed to light up the whole room, making him brighter than how he was, but nervous and sure. But then it stopped the pony. So, I bet you're wondering why I brought you here. And honestly, I'm thinking the same question. She sighed. Doesn't matter. We'll get all sorted out then. She trailed off. Then I want to ask you some things.